Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great day. So this is a clip from a previously recorded video. This is a much shorter clip of it. But as always, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. And I'm invested in closing companies. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And let's get into the clip. So Cleanspark releases their July 2023 Bitcoin mining update. Here's what they had to say. In less than 1 month, we brought 2.3 exahash of capacity online and doubled our Bitcoin holdings. Said Cleanspark CEO Zach Bradford, we increased our Bitcoin holdings due to what we see as substantial momentum building across the Bitcoin ecosystem. This move further underscores our commitment to Bitcoin and our critical role in building Bitcoin infrastructure. So that's good there. So it looks like they might be trying to huddle more and more here towards as we get closer to the halving event. We are now on a journey to nearly double our size to 16 exahash in the next half of a year. So they're at 9, so they have to install another basically 7 exahash to get there. During this time of rapid growth, we will also be turning our attention to filling any gaps and optimizing our fleet to further boost our hash rate and efficiency. So that's great there. I think what he's talking about there is possibly getting rid of some of the older miners that they do have. They don't have a lot, but they do have some to increase efficiency as they get into the halving event. I look forward to providing further insights into our past and future efforts on our earnings call next week. So we do have the quarterly, this is I think going to be their Q3, which is actually the Q2 for this year results. That's going to be next week. And here's the details as far as what they mined. Bitcoin mining update. Bitcoin mined in July was 575. Total BTC holdings as of July 31st was 1,061. Huge increase from what they had in June. We'll get into that here in a little bit. Total BTC sold in July was only 43. And month-end fleet efficiency was 29 joules per terahash. Current hash rate was at 9 exahash with an asterisk. So here's the asterisk part of it. Operating hash rate for the month averaged approximately 7.6 exahash due to the several weeks of rapid growth. Full value of month-end hash rate expected to be realized in August monthly update, and that would be true. So as they had 2.3 exahash of miners to get installed. You're not getting those all installed in one day and running and everything else. It takes a while to get those installed, so that's why we didn't get the full impact of that 9.6 exahash, which we will get in August on that, and then we'll see if they grow any further here in August. They do have a lot of miners on order. They're also building out infrastructure and other facilities in Sandersville, I believe, which is going to possibly take a little bit longer to get those other miners installed, but they should get that done all by the end of the year. We'll see. Okay, and I think that's it here for, yep. Okay, so let's take a look at the numbers that I do have for them. Here's Cleanspark right now. 112 million shares outstanding. Stock price is at $5.61. Current market cap is at 632 million. Their performance so far hasn't been, well, it's been under, I would say, subpar compared to some of the other miners. Even though they've had huge growth here, I think the fear of dilution has played into it as well. I think a lot of people were thinking they were going to dilute the whole 500 million of the ATM to grow to the 16 exahash, which I know that wasn't the case. It doesn't look like it's going to be the case. But nonetheless, they're up 39% in the last 12 weeks, 56.8% in the last 8 weeks. They're down actually in the 4 weeks, down 0.7%. And last week, they were down 7.17% on the week. BTC hodl here. You can see that they were at 529 BTC hodled in June, and they increased that quite nicely here to 1,061. Their current hash rate is at 9 exahash. Future hash rates I have 17.5. This is with all the miners that they currently have and the miners they've said that they're purchasing. Now we'll get into down below actually what miners they might be getting rid of here. Let's see here. So they're currently, let's see, hash rate growth 95% left. It's going to be a little bit less than that if they get to only 16 exahash. Their average hash rate per miner right now is 103 terahash. And let's see here, what else can we look at? Month over month difference BTC mined. So they increased that by 84 Bitcoin compared to June. BTC, let's see here, this is how much they mined each month. Mining BTC, so 575, they had 491 in June. BTC per exahash efficiency came down to 63.9 because they did install a lot. That always takes a little bit of a ding. Some other analysts use the average, so they would have used like the 7.6 exahash to average it out. I use the actual 9 exahash that they had in here. BTC sold, you can see that they sold very little here. It's the least amount that they sold in the full year since last year, going back that far. So that's great there. Also, possibly the only way they were able to do this is because with some of the dilution that they did do to buy the miners, upgrade their facilities, everything else to reach the 16 exahash, they may actually have some cash on the side. So that'll be interesting to see what their cash balance was at the end of June when they report their quarterly 3 results, which is ending in June for that one. So we'll take a look at that. But that's how I'm thinking maybe that's how they were able to do this without dilution, unless they did dilute, which we'll maybe find out. Hash rate growth, you can see here that they were last year at 2.9 roughly exahash. They've basically tripled that from last year, which is fantastic. At 9 exahash right now at the end of July. Monthly revenue reached a new all-time high here at 17.3 million roughly. If you're using the Bitcoin average price for the month of July. Hash rate growth month over month, you can see obviously they installed the most here ever. 2.3 exahash in 1 month. That is just outstanding job by them. Bitcoin sold value, they only sold about 1.29 million roughly, more or less, give or take, depending on the average price of Bitcoin that they were selling it at. And then we got the last 4 quarters revenue and current quarter estimate, last 4 quarter operating costs. So you guys can take a look at that, all those numbers. We'll update this obviously when we get the quarterly results here next week. Let's see, institutions. Institutions did increase to 175 from 163, so that's good. Their shares also increased to 36.4 million from 35.6 million. Percentage is now 32.51% owned by institutions compared to 31.7, so that's good. Institutions are buying in. We still have the same analyst ratings, which is 1 strong buy, 3 buy ratings, and price target is still $12 for the high. The average went up to $10 and the low now is at $8. So definitely way undervalued from where they are right now. But let's take a look at what we actually installed here this month for the miners for them in July. And we installed, it looks like, I'm just guessing here to get into the 9 exahash, they installed possibly these 100 terahash miners and these 122 terahash miners as well. And they were running for about 15 days on average and 13.17 on the 122 terahash miners possibly. The rest of the miners were running at 31 days. So that's got us to the 17.29 million. If Bitcoin stays where it's at right now at the price that it's at, we're looking at August to be approximately 19.5 million in total revenue. But we'll see where Bitcoin goes. Bitcoin's kind of acting a little weird right now. We'll see if it goes down a little bit more before we actually go back up once we get into more of the fall, into September, October area timeframe. Okay, so that's those numbers here. Based on all those numbers here, last 3 quarters revenue was about 115 million. That includes the Q2 numbers for them, which are an estimate right now, for me at least. We'll see what they report, how close we are to that. Current quarter is the new one that we're in, which is Q3, which is going to be, I think, their Q4. Based on all that combined, total is 171 million. We're looking at PE of 20 at $15.20 and 75% net income PE 20. We're looking at $22.80. Way undervalued. $5.61, still way undervalued in my opinion. And then if we use future estimates, so one thing that I improved on this, as I said from yesterday's video, that I was looking to figure out a way to do this. I did this by setting up basically months that we are away from the HODL happening. So right now we're about 8 months from the HODL happening. We're looking at like it might happen in April of next year. So we got 8 months, 7 months going down the road here. But I'm taking that, so I'm basically multiplying the months that we have left of full revenue mining capacity at 900 BTC rewards given out each day, multiplying it by their current month, which was July. And then we're also adding to that the couple months that are after the halving event, which is going to be at 50% income basically at that point. So based on those numbers, we're getting at $15.35 and $23.03. So kind of in line with where we are right now in the past, going into the future here as based on future estimates possibly. So still undervalued in my opinion on that one. And then as far as their HODL is concerned, so with their HODL being now almost 1,000, they put away, basically how much did they put away here on the HODL position? They added, let me see, BTC generated was 575. They sold 43, so that means they put in 532, right? Yeah, 532 BTC into it. If they can do that monthly going forward, don't know how long they're going to be able to do that, depending how much cash they have, but we'll find that out next week. They could, in theory, if they're just putting away 500 a month here for the next 8 months or so, they could add another 4,000 of BTC HODL into it. So that would get us to about 5,000 in HODL total, potentially. We'll see if that happens. If they get close to that, if they get anywhere close to that, that'd be fantastic. Obviously, with Bitcoin going up in value, then after the halving event in another year or so, they could get up to 150,000 or something like that. Well, then you're looking at obviously that value growing tremendously. They would probably start selling it at that point. That way they can use that cash again to grow through the bear market again and out of the bear market, and even be in a bigger position possibly to be at maybe oh gosh, I don't know, at 30 exahash at the next halving event or something like that with more efficient miners and things like that. Something to look at into, okay? So that's it. Let me know what you guys think of Cleanspark. Obviously, a fantastic job by them getting to 9 exahash now, increasing the HODL position to 1,000. That's definitely going to put them above the couple other ones here that are lower in HODL. I think Cypher, Bitfarms, Terrorwolf, I think, sells everything they own. A couple other ones in there. But nonetheless, it's great news, great month for them. And we'll see how they continue to do going forward into the rest of the year. Okay? So that's it for